Bagoods, which is a subtribe of the Jesus, it's been a while. Bagood subtribe of the I don't know.
They were smuggling. They
were traditionally oil smugglers. Yeah, I'm sure they're lovely men though.
How do you spell the two tribes?
Oh, just make it up because it doesn't matter. But Bagood, I have no idea.
Fair enough. And so, you de-escalated the situation. Can you remember some of the words that were passed in that?
A lot of Habibi, which is lover, which is apparently not gay. But you know, just hey, you know, we'll take care of it. Let the Marines. We'll punish who needs to be punished. And we had no translator out there. No translator in their right mind would walk out there at that point. So, you know, just by kind of getting in the middle of all this, we finally calmed him down. But I was most impressed by the Marines. The Marines were well within their right to fire their weapons. They were well within their right to just clear the streets by any means necessary at that point. You know, especially you know, as Marines are walking out there. Now we're literally in the middle of this. So now they certainly had hostile intent. They certainly had a PID.
So, and those are elements of the rules of engagement.
Right, so you need hostile act or hostile intent,
right,
and then positive identification before you can pull the trigger.
Right, and then you had Marines overwatching from the
yeah, so this is happening on the street right in front of the base, and then we have Marines all in the back, you know, literally getting ready to fire because they have no idea what's going on, but they didn't fire because they understood the situation. They understood that that one round and that really that would actually escalate the situation beyond all belief. I mean, that could have started an entire war back up again. So.
And so what we want to do is there's 5 topics we kind of hit briefly before. We have about 45 minutes on this tape anyway. Restructuring at the platoon level is number 1. Number 2 would be kind of the new concept of the lieutenant and certain skills that are particularly useful, such as education. 3 would be kind of the new concept of infantry. You know, not one round was fired during this last deployment. 4th would be war via proxy, namely the Iraqi police. And then 5th would be insurgents who tried to make it into the town. So if we could, you know, roughly 7 or 8 minutes, give or take, for each of those on average.
What was one again? Sorry, is it
restructuring at the platoon level?
Yeah, restructuring at the platoon level. So
we talked this morning about, you know, breaking the company from the perspective of the company commander, and he gave you a lot of credit for your development of the A team, you know, details, and you know, even went so far as going into the meeting where you had your NCOs brief that plan.
Yeah, which I'm sure he was surprised by. But yeah, so the you know, at the platoon level, it's pretty dynamic because you're literally ripping apart the platoon, and this squad leader is now acting almost as a platoon commander, because what's interesting is in an A-team concept, the lieutenant is the almost a company commander because he has his Marines and then he has a 100-man IP station, or in some cases you have Iraqi Army IPs and Marines. So, and frankly, the Marines have to be extremely self-reliant because the lieutenant is focusing outboard, so he's not really paying attention too much to the Marines. And it's not that the Marines are second-rate. It's nothing like that. But yeah, that's just the way it goes. And so the lieutenant is concentrating on the IPs, so the security side. Then he's concentrating on the civil side of whatever he's trying to fix. And then he has these Marines. And so these Marines, the squad leader is literally running everything. The squad leader is in charge of all S shops pretty much and keeping those S shops in order. And so it's a huge step up because not only is he running a squad, he's ensuring that all of those junior Marines are running, admin, intel, ops, logo, and comm, which is what we were talking about yesterday. But that squad leader is in charge of checking all that because the lieutenant's not. The lieutenant is poking around when things go wrong, and in the beginning he's in the details. But after that, it's really the squad leader who's making that one go. The other thing is the way it actually came out was in my situation was a little different because the squad leader is doing that, and the ops guy, the junior ops guy, so I had 2 guys in ops. The junior ops guy was also focusing on the internal and keeping all the shops in order. And the squad leader is also everywhere I'm not. So if I'm concentrating on the civil side, which is where I was a majority of the time, to be honest, he was working a lot with Iraqi police. So he's also all over the place. He's pretty much where I'm not. So he almost has an XO role. The junior Marines now are completely empowered with their entire shop. So now they're running patrols because AT guys obviously need to go on patrols. They're also in charge of running their shops. And then they're also in charge of integrating with Iraqis. So these guys are getting worked pretty hard. So it's not an easy job, and it's pretty trying, and it's not exactly it's not sexy all the time. I mean, it's for them, they're running a shop, which is something, they didn't join infantry to run an S4 shop, but that's what it takes to keep it going. That's what it takes to keep the wheels going. So that's what they became.
Right.
So that's the restructuring of the platoon, and I would say it's just DO, it's distributive ops, and then you have this across the company. So your platoon now is all over the place. Your company is literally we had 7 different stations. So as a company commander, you're running around all over the place, and it's Captain Wines obviously, I'm sure, portrayed how difficult it is to zone in on one specific area because there's all sorts of things. I mean, there's a reason that the military has 1 platoon commander with 3 squad leaders, from troop to task ratio. That's how many people you can handle, and it does. It gets completely complex when you have 7 different stations going on, and it just comes down to people. And I don't think all companies could have done what we did, because not all companies